Hello parents, just wanted to send out this quick update to let you know about what's going on tonight and a few things coming up. And normally with these videos we do the announcements at the end and I talk about tonight's message at the beginning, so tonight I decided to change that up and tell you about a few quick announcements first. So the big thing is we are having a Leaders Night on May 17th starting at 7 o'clock at Chain Lakes Community Bible Church. And some of you serve in different areas. This is for anybody who serves, if you watch kids in the nursery with their infants, all the way up through high school. So anywhere at all, whether it's children's ministry, Awana, junior high ministry, or senior high ministry, we are having this night to just come together and celebrate all that God has done in this past year, celebrate you, and talk about a few of the wins. So if that's you, we want you to come to that. But I'm also telling you because if that's not you, if your student has just been impacted though by an adult, we'd love for you to send sort of a thank you note, something we could give to them on that night just to help them feel appreciated, help them know that they are making an impact. So if you just want to keep that in mind, if there is an adult who has impacted your student this past year, we'd love to know about that. Second thing that's coming up is on May 18th at 7 to 9 p.m. That's a Wednesday. In a few weeks. It's going to be the first night that 8th graders are allowed to come to Oneighty as sort of their transition into high school. And so sort of to kick that off, we are doing something called Color Wars, where it's going to be 2 hours of just pure messy fun, all about colors. So if you've seen those color runs that are all over Facebook and things like that, where they take powdered paint and they throw it, that's going to be involved. We're going to do something involving slip and slide kickball and just drop your students off wearing as much white as they can and expect to pick them up messy. It'll all be clean stuff, but you'll still want to put a towel down in the car. It's going to be a blast of, just as Ryan and I were talking, where else can a student in Lake County go to get covered in paint and just have a ball getting messy? It happens every so often, but not like this night is going to be. It's going to be a blast. Thirdly, on May 31st, we're going to be having a youth banquet, and this is the official welcome to 8th graders into Oneighty, and it's unfortunately the official send-off of our seniors into college. Seniors are able to stay with Oneighty through the summer, but come fall when school starts back up, seniors got to go. But we are using this night as just sort of that last chance that everyone will still be together, all seniors will still sort of be involved, and it's before graduations and graduation parties start back up. So May 31st, we'll be getting information out about that as far as cost. We are going to have a catered dinner, so it'll be worth it, but there will be cheap prices for families and individuals, just enough to cover the cost. It's going to be a great time just celebrating, again, all that seniors have done in their time in youth ministry and giving their challenge and advice to the incoming 8th graders and what we've been through this past year. So hope you'll join us for that and make plans to save May 31st, and again, 7 to 9 p.m. with that, and it's a Sunday. So as for tonight, we are continuing our 7-letter series, and tonight is letter 2 to the church in Smyrna, and it's Revelation 2, 8 through 11. It's just a real quick, short little passage that we're going to be focusing in on tonight. But it's one that deals with a topic that we as Christians know kind of all too well. That when you turn on the news, you sort of see the iterations of this letter playing out with suffering, with the martyrdom. These verses, Revelation 2, 8 through 11, it's Jesus telling this church, you're poor and you're rich, and my heart breaks for you for what you're about to go through, that you're about to suffer. He says in the passage, you're going to be thrown away in jail for 10 days. It's going to be worth it. Just stay strong. One of the things we're focusing on this series is that each letter that is written to the 7 churches ends with those who conquer. And what does that word imply? And nowhere is it more clear than in this passage of what it means to conquer, when you overcome the suffering. And so it's just this encouragement in this letter to be faithful, endure, stay strong. And what's interesting is that when we think of the 7 letters, I know myself as well, when we think of the 7 letters, we always think of them as Christ's rebukes of these churches, that Christ is writing these 7 letters to these 7 churches who have failed, and he's saying, this is what you did wrong. But letter 2, this letter to the church in Smyrna, that's not the case. Christ isn't rebuking them. He's saying, you're about to go through hell. Endure. Stay strong. Keep the faith. And it's a really interesting letter in this sense, because it's 3 quick passages, but there's a lot of weight with it. And so I'm really excited about tonight's message, because it's going to touch on a few topics. And one of the topics that we're going to deal with is, why does evil exist? Why do we have to suffer? Why, as Christians, doesn't God just end it? Why doesn't God just make Christians not have to suffer? that it's easy to sort of hear a message and sort of feel like God wants Christians to be happy, so why do Christians suffer? And we're going to be touching on that a lot of what role does suffering play in our sanctification, what role does suffering play in our journey to heaven, and why is it important for Christians to suffer? And a big thing that we will be dealing with is something that is far too easy to sort of not hear, especially in high school. And that's the truth that when you read the Bible, there are moments where God is blessing you, but sometimes those blessings are sufferings. And sometimes those blessings come in the midst of suffering. That a truth of the matter is, when you live the Christian life, you are going to suffer. But Christ says it's good for you. It's good for us. And it's a really hard and heavy truth to acknowledge. And so that's one of the reasons I'm so excited about tonight. I'm hoping that it'll resonate with students, and I hope that your students will come home and know a little bit more about walking this Christian life and walking through suffering. So I'm excited. I hope your students will come and join us. We're going to have a blast again tonight. Worship's going to be great. And this message, this lesson, the small groups afterwards, are going to be top notch. So see your students tonight. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, message me. We have the new church Facebook page. You can find me there. And if not, have a great night. Have a great week. See you Sunday. God bless.